Speaking of, let's just get to that Rams game, our second point here, where the Eagles win 28-22. I thought it was over. I'll just say it. I went to start making dinner after Saquon Barkley's long, 78-yarder to ice it out there. I thought at the end, all of a sudden, the Rams offense turned on like that and made it a game at the end. But Eagles win this one. Saquon, 205 yards on 26 carries, almost a repeat of last time. 255 yards last time, 205 yards this time. Touchdown runs of 62 and 78. Last time it was 70 and 72. It was just like when they needed the big play, hand it off Saquon, and well, we all saw what happened.
Yeah, and it was unheard of performance. I think he is the first player in NFL history to have 4 touchdown runs of 60 yards or more against the same team in an entire career. And he did it in one season against the Rams. So that is just an absurd stat. And so when you look at this game, like you just said, it did feel like it's over because the Rams didn't really do anything on offense. Really, after they drove down, they got that touchdown their first drive, and then they just disappeared. And so what worked in the second half was that Sean McVay's like, well, we're down 13 points and there's 3 minutes left, so I don't have a choice. We're going to go into this hurry-up offense. And the Eagles kind of played a little bit of prevent defense, which helped that. But, man, the Rams went up and down the field twice during those final minutes. And it was, why don't you just run the hurry-up offense the whole entire game? Because the Eagles were getting tired. You could see it. And if they had run it maybe in the third quarter, maybe this offense looks a little bit better. So I thought the Rams' offensive game plan, I think Sean McVay is the top 3 coach in the NFL. So I'm not really questioning what they did. I think it's always tough to kind of gauge what you're going to do when you have a freaking winter storm warning hovering over the stadium that doesn't get there until the second quarter. So are you thinking, are we have to run the ball? Are we even going to be able to throw the ball? Is it going to be too windy? Is it going to be too snowy? So there's a lot of things you have to figure out, and you don't have much time to figure it out. So I thought the Rams could have done better offensively, and really they did pretty good in the second half, except for those 2 fumbles, Mike. If they don't lose those fumbles, they might win this game.
Yeah, I mean, the Rams and the weather, like it got the fact that as the game went on, it just got worse. That's why I thought it was over, because I was like, the snow is untenable at this point. By the end of that game, I thought there was no moving the ball through the air. But then when Puka actually caught the ball up the right sideline over Darius Slay, I was like, this is going to be an all-time Nick Sirianni moment at the end of this game. Because if the Rams come back and win it, he's going to have one of the dumbest looks on his face imaginable. I mean, it's going to be like Tim Robinson, I think he should leave. Like the memes were going to be fantastic. But the Eagles were just the better team. The fact, though, that the Rams, with a roster of no-name players, and I think you hit the nail on the head, that Sean McVay, his coaching job specifically for this team is one of the best I've seen in recent memory, because this defense doesn't have – they just don't – their best players are rookies. They're like their 2 best players are probably rookies. It's just not a talented roster. And they've had so many injuries on offense, and they're – Cooper Kupp is nowhere near what Cooper Kupp was. To be hanging with the Eagles at the end, on the road, in the snow, when you're a team that plays out in L.A., with all that's gone on in L.A. the last couple of weeks with the fires, it's like that just should not have happened. So I have to tip my cap to him, to this Rams team. But just looking up and down this Eagles roster, it's like, man, they're so good. And Jalen Carter is just everything everyone thought he was going to be coming out of Georgia last year.
Yeah, and the Eagles defense gave that Rams offense a lot of fits. And the Eagles, that's really what carries them. Their defense is just so good. It's the defense and Saquon Barkley. It doesn't matter how Jalen Hurts plays. I mean, you see a lot of criticism of Jalen Hurts, and we talked about it last Sunday, and probably talk about it this Sunday. That's just, I don't know if I trust Jalen Hurts to win a Super Bowl. And we'll talk, you guys, there'll be a lot of NFC title game talk going forward. But if I had to pick a quarterback I trust more out of Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels, I'm taking the rookie quarterback, even though you should never take a rookie quarterback in that situation. But this game, I thought the other key here for the Eagles was Jake Elliott, and we mentioned Braden Mann. Look,
Yes.
Kicking field goals in the snow is almost impossible. I mean, anything outside of 35 yards is a 50-50 shot. We saw the Eagles offensive lineman. You have to use 30 seconds of that 40-second play clock to claw at the ground so you can clear a spot for your kicker. Then everyone has to hustle up to the line. Then the kicker has to get lined up, and he's lined up in the snow before he even gets to that grass patch that you just made. And if it's slippery at all, he slips and you miss the kick. And so Jake Elliott hits 3 field goals. 2 of them where Braden Mann just made Superman holds, reaching out to the left. If Jake Elliott just misses one of those field goals, which would have been totally understandable, it's 25-22 on that final drive. The Rams are playing for a field goal, and we're probably in triple overtime right now because no one could score. So it was just unbelievable to see Jake Elliott do that, considering how rough of a regular season he had, hitting under 78% of his kicks, but dude is clutch in the postseason, 22 of 22. He's never missed a playoff field goal, Renner.
Oof. But he missed the extra point, right? The very first one. So
he did miss an extra point. He missed 2 extra points, I think.
Oh, did he? Okay. But the Eagles, though, I do go back to Hurts and the fact that 5 of his last 6 games under 150 yards. It's like at some point, and I don't know though. I thought it was going to be the Lions, right? I think everyone thought they were going to have to face the Lions, and that's when it was like, okay, you're going to have to open up the offense. You'll have to put up points to beat the Lions. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that against the Commanders team, and now they're obviously a house on offense themselves. But I think now that they've seen them twice, this Eagles defense, that they at least can have some answers for Jaden Daniels. But obviously, we'll have to see that next week.